Mangwana ni Malelepo, Vukenjani, Kleklas, Vanave, Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Berry. And today on Africa Good Morning, we unpack U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping new tariffs affecting 51 African nations and threatening the future of the AGOA trade deal, while white Afrikaner separatists in South Africa's Orania seek his support for autonomy. From Berlin, the Global Disabilities Summit pledges stronger inclusion in crisis-affected education systems. And in the DRC, Congolese women use slam poetry to reclaim power and voice. Botswana's Olympic hero Letsile Tebogo shares how sport changed his life. And Namibia's IPC leader Dr. Itula introduces a new shadow cabinet while officials open the Avis Dam sluice gates to protect Windhoek. In economic news, Kigali AI Summit calls for urgent digital transformation in Africa. And in sports, Namibia's Brave Five Gladiators head to Morocco for their debut at the Futsal Africa Cup of Nations. Watch the show on DSTV 285, GoTV 25, OneUp2.com, and Network Media Hub on YouTube. Top story shortly.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at
Let's get into our top stories on Africa Good Morning. United States President Donald Trump announced sweeping global tariffs yesterday, imposing a baseline 10% duty on all imports and significantly higher rates on key trading partners, including 51 African nations, in a move he described as Liberation Day for the American economy, declaring that the U.S. had been looted, pillaged, and plundered by foreign countries. Trump framed the tariffs as a defense against economic harm allegedly inflicted by international competitors. His announcement, made in the White House Rose Garden, marked a sharp reversal of decades of trade liberalization, sparking market turmoil as investors feared slowed economic growth, corporate losses, and rising global inflation. Critics argue that the tariffs will disproportionately impact vulnerable nations suffering from economic crisis or conflict, while Trump insisted they would restore American jobs and drive unprecedented economic expansion. Following his speech, he signed 2 executive orders to formalize the tariff policy, predicting that history would vindicate his approach despite widespread economic concerns. Now, here is a visual summary of Trump's tariffs announcement from Donald Trump's X page.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. We are finally putting America first. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices. From this day on, we're not going to let anyone tell us that American workers and families cannot have the future that they deserve. We're going to produce the cars and ships, chips, airplanes, minerals, and medicines that we need right here in America. We're going to build our future with American hands, with American heart. This will be...
Moving on. White Afrikaner separatists in Orania, South Africa, have sought support from U.S. President Donald Trump to gain recognition as an autonomous state, emphasizing their desire for investment rather than asylum. Founded in 1991 as a whites-only enclave resisting majority black rule, Orania has grown to 3,000 residents and operates with its own local tax system, informal currency, and increasing energy independence. While South Africa's government dismisses its sovereignty claims, Orania's leaders recently met with U.S. Republican influencers amid growing American right-wing support for Afrikaner nationalism. Critics, including the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, accuse Orania of fueling racial divisions, while its residents argue they are preserving their heritage against South Africa's affirmative action policies, which they claim limit opportunities for white workers. Now, at the 2025 Global Disability Summit in Berlin, delegates committed to prioritizing inclusive education for children with disabilities, particularly in crisis-affected regions where they face severe barriers to schooling. Hosted by Germany, Jordan, and the International Disability Alliance, the summit highlighted the challenges disabled children encounter, including stigma, discrimination, and a lack of accessible facilities and specialized support. With nearly 1 in 5 out-of-school children in conflict zones having disabilities, leaders pledged to integrate disability inclusion into all aspects of education in emergencies and protracted crises. This includes targeted interventions, improved data collection, and policy changes aimed at ensuring no child is left behind. Their efforts offer hope for students like 11-year-old Dio Ferra from the Central African Republic, who, despite being blind, aspires to become a teacher and help other visually impaired children have access to education. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, 23-year-old poet Esther Abumba is using slam poetry as a powerful tool to challenge injustice and transform pain into hope. Living in a conflict-ridden nation, she believes slam is more than just words. It is a movement that allows people, especially the youth, to express themselves and heal from the scars of war. Many young poets, some as young as 10, write about conflict, violence against women, and injustice, reflecting the harsh realities they face daily. Esther sees slam as a means to fight back and create change, particularly for Congolese women, whose stories have often been reduced to narratives of suffering and oppression. She urges women to reclaim their stories, rewrite history, and be seen not just as victims, but as resilient individuals capable of rising above adversity. Through her poetry, she hopes to empower women to break barriers and redefine their identities beyond the struggles imposed by decades of conflict. And finally, raised by a single mother in the village of Kanye, Botswana, Letsile Tebogo found his way out of hardship through sport, a path that led him to become his country's first Olympic gold medalist, with victory in the men's 200 meters at Paris 2024. Growing up surrounded by crime, he believes athletics kept him from a different fate, giving him structure and purpose from an early age. Now an ambassador for World Athletics Kids Athletics program, he hopes to inspire young people to pursue sport rather than risk falling into crime. His triumph in Paris brought Botswana to a standstill, earning him national recognition and a public holiday in his honor, while also leading his nation to a 4x400 meter relay silver. Despite losing his mother months before the games, Tebogo remains focused on his career, recently shifting his training to 400 meters to build endurance ahead of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, while also looking forward to Botswana hosting Africa's first Senior World Athletics event in 2026, an opportunity he believes will inspire a new generation of athletes. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. After the break, we're going to have a focus time, more like we're going to zone in on Namibia's latest stories. But prior to that, it's the weather.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
We start with some Namibian politics. Dr. Panduleni Itula, president of the Independent Patriots for Change, IPC, addressed the party's plans for its parliamentary representation. He announced that 20 IPC members selected to serve in parliament will take on a key role as the party's representatives. According to Dr. Itula, this group will act as an accountability committee for opposition ministers, functioning as a shadow cabinet. Dr. Itula also clarified that he will not represent the party as its leader in parliament, leaving that responsibility to the chosen 20 members. In his statement, he addressed potential critics, saying, "Whoever has plotted against me should put their knives down."
Has been cleared, and to make sure the Namibian people and the Namibian nation understand the principles which we hold very dear in IPC and the principles upon which the tenets of our dear Constitution is based, that we have vowed to uphold, to protect, and to defend, and to make sure that those of you who have taken the oath of Parliament will continue to serve the Republic of Namibia true to your own oath and never betray that oath. In order for us to actually navigate this very difficult concept of democracy, leaders of the official opposition, parliamentary democracy, parliamentary supremacy, constitutional supremacy, and many of the terminologies that you will become familiar with, it's perhaps very, very important. And it will not be sufficient for me to address you on critical issues without understanding, first of all, that overall picture that I will be casting. And citizens of the Republic and others sharpening their sharp knives to try and cut the throat of Dr. Itula should he march onto the parliamentary steps. I shall not do so. So put your knives away. I shall never break the laws of this republic. I shall respect the sacrifices made for us to emerge as a democracy in this country. So, that case is closed. No further speculations about whether Dr. Itula will be ever coming onto Parliament in any form whatsoever. We've got our 20. They will serve the minority vote that was cast by our people. Now let me turn.
Let's move on, and we are focused on Windhoek. Paulus Ngolombe, who is a disaster risk management specialist at the city of Windhoek, says the sluice gates at the Avis Dam were opened as a precautionary measure after the dam reached full capacity. Here he is explaining the necessity of that measure.
What we are doing right now here is, like I said before, it's a risk management measure, which, in other words, a mitigation aspect of control of the water. What we have realized is that the dam itself right now is at full capacity, and the sluices of the dam are made in such a way that they are supposed to open automatically. Now, when you look at an amount of water in a dam, we are calculating that if the sluices were to open automatically, that is going to lead with a lot of water that is going to flow in the river, and our fear is that it's going to cause damage within the city. Because naturally, this river is going to cross about 13 streets. The main one being Nelson Mandela. It means it comes into a Nelson Mandela, it crosses, and then it comes out back again, and then there's another danger point. So we have got Avis as a location that is affected, then we have got Klein Windhoek, and then we have got Eros. And these are the areas that are at risk of being flooded. So by opening this manually, we are able to manipulate the flow of water in the river. As a result, we are able to prevent any disaster from happening because now the water is controlled. So by the time we have realized that we have now reached a level where we have enough water, the sluices will not open, then we can now close the water. And also, it's because we have an abnormal rain this year. That means the water that we are anticipating to come is more, and we are hoping that by the time the dam recharge, the water that we have released is enough, and everybody can still have got a natural water like the community want to have. The last time this practice was done was 2011. The same process that we are doing now today, it happened before and it has worked for us. But previously, when the sluices open automatically, it caused a lot of damage within the city, and we don't want that to happen anymore.
The Global AI Africa Summit has officially kicked off. Let's head into economic news. The Global AI Summit Africa has officially kicked off in Kigali, bringing together top leaders and visionaries to shape the continent's technological future. At the heart of the discussions is the role of artificial intelligence in Africa's key development areas, and key figures emphasizing the need for adaptation and innovation. Leading the conversation, Rwandan President Paul Kagame highlighted AI as one of the most groundbreaking innovations of our time.
Artificial intelligence is driving some of the most groundbreaking innovations of our time and accelerating the pace of digital transformation. Across industries, the benefits of artificial intelligence are very evident. More productivity, better informed decision-making, and reduced human error. However, it's unfortunate that the rise of this new technology is being overshadowed by geopolitical competition. For now, technological development is concentrated in a few countries. Africa cannot afford to be left behind, once again playing catch-up. We have to adapt, cooperate, and compete because it is in our best interest to do so. That's why we are here. In this regard, I want to thank the African Union, Smart Africa, and ITU for championing the creation of the Africa.
Now, among the influential voices shaping this conversation is Strive Masiyiwa, the Zimbabwean founder and executive chairman of Econet Group and Cassava Technologies. In his powerful address, he underscored the urgency of reimagining education for the AI era.
There's a lot we know we can do. Our education systems of reading and writing are now obsolete. We need to start there. We will not have a place at this table if our kids can't do maths and they can't code and they don't do science in school. And we keep wanting to speak French and English. No, sir.
All right, we're going to swing over shortly into the sport stories. So Namibia's brave 5 gladiators are making their way shortly to Morocco, and they got a special send-off from the Minister of Sport.
I'm so delighted. I'm so honored to be in the presence of you. Your talent must be amazing for you to earn this distinction, this honor to go and represent your country with this first game. But it's not just talent. You've set yourself apart from others, probably through strict discipline, isn't it? A lot of self-discipline, pushing yourself, sheer tenacity, perseverance, even if things were tough, even if all you wanted to do was at a given point give up, but you didn't. So for that, I put a feather in your cap. And I thank you that you persevered where you are today, representing not just yourself, but your family, your neighbors, your community, your nation. It's an honor. It's an honor to be Namibian. We cannot take that for granted. Secondly, be unapologetically yourself. Your true, authentic self when you represent us there as a Namibian ambassador. Proud of your heritage. Be proud of your culture. Be proud of your language. Establish yourself among the best, because you are the best that Namibia has to offer.
As Namibians, we'll all be watching the brave 5 gladiators in a couple of weeks' time in Morocco. Now, I'm aware that it's our debut. I'm aware that this team is not years and years old. Is that correct? President with a small p. That means nothing. When we go out there and you wear the national team jersey, you wear it on behalf of all 3 million Namibians that are supporting you. Such an immense honor to represent your country. And I don't want any of you ladies to take that for granted. You're you're ambassadors of Namibia, and you should know when you step out there, you're representing an entire nation. And it's something to be so proud of. Let's give them a round of applause. So, when I was preparing, and I have a few speaking notes here, I thought of what is the power of sport as a unifier. Now, the girl child is someone that's going to look up to each of you. And the hope and the goal is that we'll have hundreds into the thousands of young ladies participating in this, can I call it, fairly new sport code? Because of you, you will inspire the generations to come. And to be the very first, it's something that will live for you forever. When you're old and you have your own grandchildren one day, you'll be able to tell them, I was of the first group that participated on the African Continental Championship, the AFCON, to represent my country.
So those were send-off messages from Namibia's Sports Minister Sanet Steenkamp and Deputy Sports Minister Dino Balotti. That brings us to the end of our broadcast on Africa Good Morning. Thank you for joining us, not just today, but throughout the week, as we've been bringing you the latest updates stemming from the African continent. On Monday, we were in Zambia. On Tuesday, Zimbabwe. Wednesday, Botswana. Thursday, South Africa. And Friday, in the land of the brave. From me, Ashwin Berry, and the Africa Good Morning team on DSTV 285, Core TV 25, 1up2.com, and Network Media Hub on YouTube. Have a wonderful weekend. Swera Jaganaka.